All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to try and make sense of one of the most complex and long-standing conflicts in modern history, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's really a story about land, about identity, and a struggle that has shaped millions of lives. Our whole goal here is to break down the core pieces of this puzzle so you can get a clearer picture of what's really at stake.
So here's our game plan for how we're going to do that. We'll start with what's happening right now, then we'll rewind and dig into the roots of the whole thing. After that, we'll walk through the major historical events that got us here, look at the really sticky issues that are so hard to solve, and finally, we'll talk about the very real human cost of it all.
Okay, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on the bigger picture, we've got to start with the question that probably brought you here in the first place.
And there it is. Why does this keep happening? It's the question we all ask every time things flare up. The specific spark might be different each time, but the answer? Well, it always points back to a deeply entrenched pattern.
What we're seeing today is basically this relentless cycle. You get these bursts of violence, then a shaky truce. But politically, nothing moves forward. And underneath it all are these really deep-seated grievances on both sides that just keep fueling the tension. So to figure out why they're stuck in this loop, we have to go back to how it all started. Let's dig into the roots of this thing. And just to be clear, this is not a new conflict. Not by a long shot. We're talking about origins that go back well over a century, all centered on this fundamental issue. Two distinct peoples who feel a profound connection to the very same piece of land. When you boil it all down, what you have is a clash of two powerful national movements. On one side, you have Zionism, which emerged in the late 1800s. Its goal was to establish a national home for the Jewish people in their ancestral homeland. On the other side, you have the rise of Palestinian nationalism, a movement driven by the Arab people in that land who wanted their own independent state. The core problem? Both movements saw the same land as their rightful home.
Okay, so with that background, let's walk through some of the huge moments in history. I mean, these are the critical turning points that literally redrew the map and completely changed the reality on the ground for everyone involved. Things really kick off in a major way in 1917 with the Balfour Declaration, where Britain basically supported the idea of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Fast forward to 1948. After British rule ends, the first Arab-Israeli war erupts. This war leads to the creation of the State of Israel and also the displacement of more than 700,000 Palestinians, an event they call the Nakba, which means catastrophe. Then comes the 1967 Six-Day War, a massive game-changer where Israel takes control of the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem. And then, for a minute there in 1993, it seemed like there was a real breakthrough with the Oslo Accords. This was a huge deal, an agreement that was supposed to pave the way for a two-state solution. But, well, it ultimately failed to bring lasting peace.
So all of that history didn't just disappear, right? It left behind this set of incredibly thorny issues. People often call them final status issues. And these are the huge roadblocks that still stand in the way of any lasting peace deal today. And maybe the toughest one of all is Jerusalem. You have two completely different, deeply held claims on the city. For Israelis, all of Jerusalem is their single eternal capital. For Palestinians, East Jerusalem is the capital of the independent state they hope to build one day. You just can't overstate how important this city is to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, which makes this issue unbelievably sensitive.
And the challenges definitely don't stop there. There's a whole list of other massive sticking points. You've got the issue of Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. The final borders have never been agreed upon. Then there's the question of what to do about the millions of Palestinian refugees and their descendants. And of course, on both sides, there are profound security fears that any deal would have to address. Now, we've talked about politics and history, but it is so important that we talk about the human cost. Because this conflict isn't some abstract debate. For millions of people, this is their daily reality. We're talking about millions of lives. Entire generations of both Palestinians and Israelis have grown up knowing nothing but conflict, displacement, and this constant feeling of insecurity. Behind every single statistic and every headline, there's a family, there's a person with a story of loss and resilience. You know, this quote from Isabel Allende really hits home. Peace requires everyone to be in the circle. Wholeness, inclusion. It's this powerful idea that you can't find a real solution by pushing someone out. It has to include everyone, recognizing the history, the rights, and the humanity of every single person involved.
And that leaves us with this huge question. After digging into the history, the core disagreements, and the heartbreaking human toll, what would it actually take to build a peace that's not just lasting, but also just for both Israelis and Palestinians? There are no simple answers here, obviously, but it's a question we absolutely have to keep asking.